Greetings, everybody. Nathan Knick here with Art Wars Winning the War Within, and we are here on the instructional call, The War Room. And I would like to talk about what I posted last time, which is the 12 career paths of art and design. And so we have these broken down into sort of 12 big career paths that you can go into in art and design. And then in those 12 categories, we have all these different careers. And so a lot of times these careers overlap. A lot of times they're very similar. Sometimes it's sort of the same career with a different name. The next step is to not get overwhelmed by this list of 550 careers. Okay. Like you probably even went from, okay, what career can I get in the arts to there's this many I didn't realize. And that's sort of where I was when I started researching this. So I want us to take it step by step. Today, we're just going to sort of go through and take a look at what careers you find interesting and what careers you don't know about. So we're going to dive right in. This is available on the first episode of The War Room. I will also pull it apart and make it separate so you can just download it right away. You might need to put in your email address to download it, but it is free. It is currently free. A lot of times, coaching programs, they charge. Right now, I would consider downloading this, sharing it with your friends, so you have it. So what I developed was a page on what to do next. So you have careers that you see there that you know. So what I want you to do first is part one here, careers that you know, 5 to 10 careers, pretty easy. Part two, careers you don't recognize or maybe you want to know more about or they sound interesting and you get an idea of what they are, but you're not quite sure what exactly it entails. Now, the research instructions: use AI, Google, Wikipedia, YouTube, or another reliable research tool. Use whatever you feel comfortable with. I like using AI. I like AI because it's intuitive. It even asks questions that I don't think about to ask all the time. So as you research each career, I want you to answer the following questions. So a short sentence paraphrase: what does this career involve? What are you doing? And that was a little confusing when I read the first one, and I'm like, well, how does that play out practically? And so number two, give me a real world example of this. What is the expected salary pay range for this career? That's always important. You want to be able to make sure you can afford to pay your bills, and set up retirement and do all these different things. And money is important. What steps are required to pursue this career? What degree do you need? What education, what training, what experience do they want? Networking is never a bad thing, in my opinion. It is always a good thing. And then what I would do is, if you're an educator or if you have an art club and you're president or running it, create a shared document that your students can all work on together and everyone has access to. And if everybody puts down these questions, then you're able to see without having everybody look up the same ones over and over and over again. Yeah, working together, it helps out. So you're answering those. I would have one document to put the 10 that you don't realize or understand. And I did this because there's some that I don't know of, or I don't realize what exactly it entails. And it proved pretty clarifying. So I wanted to know what branded entertainment designer is. Now, I know the word branded, it's your brand. It's, like specifically what a company wants, what they look like. It could be anything from logo design, characters, sort of all of that. And then entertainment design, we know that, but sort of putting all those together, I wasn't sure what a branded entertainment designer did. So I typed in those questions: what does this career involve? And they create stories, visuals, experiences, or content that blends advertising with entertainment to promote a brand in a subtle, engaging way. So that was like, yeah, I'm still not sure what they do. You know, I go down to the what's the expected salary or pay range, and I got anywhere from 55 grand to 90 grand a year. What steps are required to pursue this career? Got the steps: education, training, a bachelor's degree in graphic design, marketing, advertising, film, media studies, or entertainment design is common. They want real world experience, portfolio quality, collaboration skills. So I'm getting a lot of good information here, but it's still that what does this career involve? And so what I love about Chat GPT, I asked, give me a real world example of branded entertainment designer. And they came up with the Lego movie. So what they did, a branded entertainment designer, they helped create the full length animated film. Everywhere from character design, probably the shape, they worked with the artists closely on the shape of the characters and the bodies to make sure they were correct to Lego and what Lego wanted. They were probably a middleman between Lego and the director, just about keeping it on brand with the Lego products. So there you go, branded entertainment designers. Then what I love about AI is, why is this branded entertainment designing? It's not just marketing. The brand is embedded into the story itself. The audience chooses to watch it for enjoyment. So there's all these different things. And then, in short, a branded entertainment designer helps turn a brand into a story people want to experience, not an ad they want to skip. So it gives you sort of the full picture of what you can do in a branded entertainment design career. And then it also gives suggestions. If you'd like, I can give a non-movie example: sports, music, gaming. Maybe movies aren't your thing or Legos aren't your thing, but you really like baseball. And so you can ask ChatGPT or whatever AI, ask for a non-movie example of sports, maybe specifically baseball, and see where it goes from there. Now, once you have sort of this process in, all I would recommend doing is, I asked it, because the next one on my list was an art broker. I had an idea of what an art broker would do, but again, I wanted more specifics. Please do the same thing for an art broker. And so I don't have to retype my questions. I just have to please ask it to do the same thing for this job. And so I learned more about the art broker profession. And all these just different questions that AI comes up with is amazing. Why is this an art-based career? It requires strong understanding of visual arts and artistic quality. It involves curating, evaluating, and presenting artwork. It relies on aesthetic judgment and cultural knowledge. So you're not just talking about art, you're talking about art, the artist, the culture, the story behind the artwork, and all these extra things as an art broker. Art broker helps art move from the studio or gallery into the hands of collectors by combining art knowledge, trust, and negotiation skills. You also need to know the value if you want to be an art broker. I went down here and again, answer the 4 original questions. What does this career involve? What is the expected salary? And what I've come to find out is it's going to vary. And like with any of these careers, you're probably looking at 40 to 50 grand to 90 to 100 grand for a lot of them, depending on where you're at in the broker experience or in whatever career you're in. So that is that. I wanted to give you guys that to have a place to go. Not just, okay, well, here's a list, good luck. But now you have a place to go with that list. Start looking up the ones that you don't know, that don't look familiar, that you maybe recognize a couple of the words or phrases in there, but you're not really sure what the job is, and research them. Research them, write down ones you like, write down ones you don't like, and keep this handy. This isn't a one and done worksheet necessarily. You can keep doing this as long as you want for all these careers. You don't have to stop with just the 10 because there are so many. So pick a category. Maybe it's illustration, motion design, I don't know. Fill out that worksheet. Do that once a month. See where it takes you. See what you find. See what is out there that really could bring you to the art career that you want. This is Nathan. I wish you a very, very tremendous, awesome day, and we will see you next time.